took Rick out for his 70th birthday present. Upon asking him questions about what he still wants to do in his most successful life that he's had so far, and he answered almost straight away saying that he would love to do another rear race. And we had done the rear race together in 1993, a long time ago. And I said to him, if we do it together, then please can we go for a win? And let's try and break the record, the world record at the same time. We soon realized, I think we knew fairly soon up front, that it needed to be a multi-hull and it needed to be a trimaran. And the guys online did lots of homework, we considered lots of options. They managed to come across Ultim Emotion, G11 as it's also called, China 11, owned by Antoine, Robusta. We knew that on a multi-hull boat like this, we would take a while to get up to speed. They are very technical, different boats to the monohulls that we've all sailed. It was really exciting. So this was sort of a culmination of almost a year. At that stage must have been 10 and a half, 11 months into the program, that we could now, Phil and I could now introduce the rest of the crew to the boat. And to do that in the heart of multi-hull sailing in the world, on the Brittany coast in this quaint, lovely town called La Trinité-sur-Mer. That is the absolute breadbasket of French multi-hull sailing. So to be in this environment and introduce the guys to the boat and spend a week together in a crew house where we had lots of fun building the team environment. At the end of the day, this is a team sport like you can't believe. When you're out there cold and wet at night, you need to really hang in there for each other. So we got to learn the boat. So by the end of the week, the team building had been 9.5 out of 10. It was magnificent. And the crew work and getting to know the boat was also a 9.5 out of 10. So it was a marvelous feeling getting on board after a busy week, flying back to Cape Town thinking that was a big box ticked as far as this campaign went. If only we were to know what happens next.
So the early hours of September the 2nd, while our race boat was on a delivery from France around into the Mediterranean, the boat ended up capsizing about 50 nautical miles off the coast of Portugal. We're 4 months out from the start of a transatlantic race, and the boat that we want to sail is upside down, drifting 50 miles off the coast of Portugal.
You know, has the plan now been shattered? But to see that happening and realizing that we weren't on board, but worrying about the people that were on board, was and then hearing the relief that they were all fine, was a very emotional experience for me. So now the first thing in my mind was that this plan, A, as I called it, to fix the boat, to salvage it, to tow it back to Lisbon, to turn it over the right way around, do structural assessments, damage assessments, rebuild the mast that had shattered into a number of pieces. The sails had washed off, lost to sea, and then rebuild the boat, redo the electronics, rebuild the mast, all in the space of 8 weeks. As well as running plan A, which was to rebuild the boat in time, the existing boat. Plan B was to encourage Antoine to find an equivalent boat. Thankfully, option B, which was always the preferred one because we stayed with Antoine, is the one that panned out. And he, hats off to him, bought another boat. And his boat that he bought is Prince de Bretagne, which is PDB as we call it. And it is a great boat, which is really exciting but still very challenging. So this boat that he's bought is a good option. But the problem is that it broke its mast 2 years ago. So the clock is running like you can't believe. There's 4 weeks to go. He's been working since Monday this week, so it's only been 4 or 5 days since he secured this deal. And he has a team of 8 or 9 guys currently, and he's bolstering them with a few more guys next week. I think certainly from my side, I think we've all played a role in coming back from adversity, especially over the last 4 or 5 weeks. But I would particularly like to pay tribute to Antoine. I think he's had his back against the wall, hoisted up into a helicopter, his prize joy tipped upside down, floating in the Atlantic for 8 days, under the cosh in terms of contractual commitments to us as a team and our program, and yet he has steadfastly just pushed forward and taken some entrepreneurial risk, and he's worked day and night, and he's never promised things that he couldn't deliver so far. I take my hat off, and I think the whole team, we take our hat off and thank Antoine. And then I need to add that Rick, the way that he's handled this has also been calm, collected, wise,